All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for our Smackdown review for March 3rd, 2023. Solid Smackdown tonight. Opening segment was fucking great. Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns finally get in the ring for their confrontation. They brought up Dusty Rhodes and how he was, or Roman brought him up, that he was a part of his, like when he was becoming a WWE superstar. So they talked about that. That was the best thing on the show all night. He had the surprise appearance by Bobby Lashley. He calls out Bray Wyatt or whatever. Don't really care about that. And then the other thing was Drew McIntyre and Sheamus got heated. That was an okay segment. And Roman Reigns finally showed up to work. How about that? His first his first appearance on SmackDown since January. So finally he's back to work. Fuck. All right. First segment we got Bloodline. They come out. They're in Washington, D.C. Roman says, acknowledge me. And then as soon as he says that, Cody Rhodes music hits. Cody Rhodes comes out. And then Cody Rhodes says, no need for your compatriots unless you really need them. That was hilarious. And then Roman tells Heyman to get out, leave. And then he tells Solo, take Solo with you. So Jimmy, Solo, and Paul Heyman all leave the ring. Now it's just Roman and Cody in the ring, one-on-one. Roman drops the titles one by one, and then Roman says, what do you want to talk about? Fucking trolling him, man. Roman's a fucking troll. And then Cody says, for everyone else, Roman might be impossible, not for me. And then Roman says, you ever won that one? So he pointed at one of the titles. And he says, or competed for one of these. And he points to the other title, heavyweight title. You ever been in the main event, WrestleMania? This is good by Roman. Then he says, I've been groomed by my father. Then he delays for a little bit, and then he says, your father too. Dusty told him, you are it. And then he started doing a impression of Dusty Rhodes. It was pretty good. Sting did a pretty good one too. He did one a couple of years ago. He used to say, and then he used to say nothing about you. You didn't exist when I was around. Maybe when Seth Rollins was around with him, or Kevin Owens, or Becky Lynch, maybe he brought you up. And then Roman says, if there's anything he didn't teach you, I will. So pretty good by Roman there. And then he stuck his hand out. Cody says, you sent Heyman to Monday Night Raw to tell me the truth. Cody says, you are the son he always wanted. And he says, this is a necessity. May the better man win. And they shook hands. So pretty good segment. The build up, pretty good. Or the start so far, finally, with the competition between these guys in the ring. All right, next up, it was Rhea defeated Liv Morgan. Don't really care about that. Then there was a segment in the back with the bloodline. Roman says he's running out of patience, not with Jay, but with you. He was talking about Jimmy when he told Heyman. Oh no, I think Jimmy was there when he said it. I can't remember. Next up we got Santos Escobar versus Dominic Mysterio. Santos hit a leg drop for a 2 count, and there was a midair collision. And Dominic hit a frog splash for the win. And then so Santos brought out Rey Mysterio's mask that he gave him a few weeks ago. Dominic took the mask and he ripped the mask from each side, and then Rey Mysterio comes out. Then Rey wants the mask back from Dominic. So and then he just chucks it to the ground, and then Rey goes to pick it up, and then Dominic punched him like once or twice. So that was it for that. And he egged on Rey to hit him or whatever, but Rey didn't do it. So maybe next week he'll punch him or the week after. So eventually he's got to do it and just snap and shit out of Dominic. Next up we got Drew McIntyre on the ring. Drew calls out Gunther, and Sheamus comes out. Says you went behind my back. Sheamus says you're a backstabbing bastard. And Drew says you had your chance, you lost twice. And then LA Knight comes out. So Drew and Sheamus, they're not even paying attention to LA Knight, and they're still going at each other. He's like, you don't gotta watch me, but you gotta listen or whatever. You gotta have an LA WrestleMania with LA Knight, whatever. And then New Day comes out. I think it was a Kofi or Woods. I forgot who. They said you want LA Knight. You want a match at WrestleMania, and you can't even win a match on SmackDown. You got him burned there, and then Karrion Cross comes out, and then everybody just attacks each other, and then yeah, that was pretty much it for that. Karrion Cross was the last guy standing in the ring, so they're gonna have a five-way match next week to decide who's gonna face Gunther. So it's a number one contenders match. Sheamus or Drew is probably gonna win. Well, I thought it would have been a triple threat, but I guess not. So whoever wins that's gonna face Gunther at WrestleMania for the IC title. Next up, we got Bobby Lashley. He comes out there, surprise appearance. He says Bray has been telling me to run. Says I don't run. Bray is not man enough to face me. And then lights go out. And then Bobby or oh no, the lights didn't go out. Bray Wyatt's music's hit or whatever. Uncle Howdy comes in the ring. And then he attacks Lashley, and then Lashley hit a spine buster. Lights go out, and then they come back on, and Uncle Howdy's gone. Don't really care about this. This is just whatever. I don't know what happened to Bray. I think ever since the Royal Rumble, it's just not been good since that glow in the dark match bullshit with LA Knight. I don't know what the hell's going on. I don't really care about Bray Wyatt anymore. All right, next up we got another segment in the back with the Bloodline. Jimmy says Jay to leave him the hell alone. And then Roman says, I've always been there for him. If you get rid of Sami Zayn, Jay will come home. And then he tells Heyman, Jay's got 1 week. Jay's not back with the Bloodline 1 week. I'm not gonna blame Sami. I'm gonna blame Jimmy. So going more fractures in the Bloodline. See what happens next week. Hopefully Roman's on the show. All right, next up, we got the last part of the show. Sami Zayn versus Solo Sikoa. Sami hit a clothesline, and Solo threw Sami into the ring post. Solo hit a Samoan drop in the ring. And then Sami Zayn hit a crossbody for a 2 count. Then Sami hit a blue thunder bomb for a near fall. Solo hit a Samoan spike for the win and the 3 count. After the match, Jimmy Uso attacked Sami Zayn, put a chair around his neck. It looked like Solo Sikoa was gonna like run into the corner with a chair around his neck, but then Jimmy cut him off. He says, I got this Uso, I'm gonna do this." And then that hesitation gave Sami a chance to get up, and he threw the chair at Solo, and he hit the haluva kick on Jimmy, and then he's about to hit Jimmy with the chair. Solo gets up, and then Sami goes away into the crowd. Very solid Smackdown. All the Bloodline stuff. We still got Drew and Sheamus, so we'll see who wins that 5-way match next week. And then Lashley and Bray Wyatt. Don't really care about that. Oh yeah, it was a solid Smackdown. All right. See ya.